What this is?
Chicken. A chicken.
When you get a chicken like this, there's bits on it that are worth lots of money. The breasts are the most expensive part. It's the biggest and it's the white meat, okay? And that is a chicken breast, okay? Now, chicken wings are worth quite a lot of money. I showed them where all the nice cuts of meat came off the chicken. So we just pop the legs off and then you're left with a carcass with all the ribs and the little bits of giblets and blood and skin and stuff like that. What do you think happens to this?
It gets thrown away.
You want to eat some? You want to eat some? Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story about how you can use all the leftover bits to make food. And watch me. Some of the processed foods that you love are made from the bits you don't like. Bone, all the connective tissues, little bits of bone marrow and stuff like that. They even add chicken skin. Put a load of chicken skin in here as well. Okay, so then once they've done that, pour the wound up meat and bone and skin and like bits of horrible bits, and they put it into a massive great machine that squeezes all the soft stuff away from the gangly hard stuff. Look at it.
Ooh, it's all going through. It's totally awesome.
What's the good meat? That or that?
That.
And what kind of meat is that?
The horrible.
Okay, so because this has got loads of connective tissue and things that really aren't meat, to be honest, you've got to put loads of stuff in it. Stabilise it with stabiliser, you know, flavouring in there to make it taste of something nice instead of something horrible. Once they've done that, they mix it all up and make this big load of gunk. And then guess what we can do?
What?
We can get a cutter and cut out our very own patty. Just like that. Put some breadcrumbs on it. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, our very own patty. And all we do is whack them in a pan. Lovely. Now, who would still eat this?
Welcome to beautiful Huntington, West Virginia, population 50,000, home of Marshall University, and recently named the unhealthiest city in America. In a place where nearly half the adults are considered obese and incidents of diabetes and heart disease lead the nation, one man is coming to lead a food revolution.
This is about life and death.
Jamie Oliver, renowned British chef who transformed the British school food program,
Everyone can do better.
has come to our shores to take on the biggest mission of his life, to save an entire American city.
I'm here to inspire and show America that just a little effort can make a massive difference.
But in this town, the revolution will meet resistance.
What are you here for?
The results came out that this town was the most unhealthy town in America. This is a government statistic based on death.
We don't want to sit around and eat lettuce all day.
I don't think Jamie's got anything that can change this town. He can try all he wants. I don't think he's got it.
I thought there was only miserable bastards like that in England. How's your pizza for breakfast? In all of my years, I've never seen pizza given for breakfast in any country. Who knows what this is?
Potatoes.
So you think these are potatoes? This is the future of America.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? What's right with that? Would you eat that?
Yes, I think it's good.
I'm talking about causing a big fuss. I'm changing things. Change.
Yeah, okay.
They don't understand me because they don't know why I'm here.
In a city with a growing epidemic,
I've tried every diet. I've tried going to the gym. I just can't get the motivation.
This is going to kill your children.
With the coloration of the neck, the family history of diabetes, you may be dying in your 30s.
one man will try to save 50,000 lives.
If you think that's not important, then shame on you. The fat consumed by the entire school for 1 year. This is the first generation of kids expected to live a shorter life than their parents. Will you support me? I'm talking about a seed of change. I'm talking about schools. I'm talking about fast food industry. I'm here to start a revolution. The biggest food revolution this country's ever seen.
Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. Series premiere Friday, March 26, 9/8 Central on ABC.
School dinners are in a deepening crisis, with a diet of fatty processed food threatening our children's health, and the government doesn't seem to have the answers.
I can feed that to my dog. I would feed it to my dog, but I mean, I wouldn't feed it to my mate. Certainly not my kids.
Jamie Oliver is determined to prove there can be better. So far, he's transformed the food in One London Comprehensive. But he needs to show it will work on a big scale. He'll have to get dinner ladies in 60 schools cooking his food with the help of school cook Nora, and persuade the government to back it around the country.
I want us to have a better, cooler, cleverer, healthier nation. England's one of the richest countries in the world, and you know, I came back from South Africa in the townships and I saw a better school meal there in a shanty town than in the middle of London. Bizarre. If you look along the side of the table now, everything is essentially the same. Reconstituted sausage rolls, minced meat there, don't know what's inside. Fish fingers, the same. Sausages, reconstituted, probably synthetic skins, probably a load of additives. There's nothing wrong with a chicken nugget if it's a chicken nugget. It's when they start, you know, mechanically reclaiming stuff and you look at the ingredients, and I ain't a scientist, but when you start saying, well, okay, there's 49 ingredients, and I see 3 food ingredients, you don't have to be a genius or a doctor to work out that ain't good. Burger, smileys and beans, please. Burger. Pizza and smileys. I can honestly say that 97% of people in this room today had a totally unacceptably unbalanced diet. Kids and schooling and making sure that they're healthy when they leave, for crying out loud, is a basic necessity and right to every parent, whether the parents are thick as or not, you know. And as we all know, there's a lot of thick parents out there, but it doesn't mean they don't love their kids, it just means they've kind of grown up believing and trusting things that are being blipped at them every day, you know.
There are a number of reasons why it's important to start with children. First, obesity, once established in adults, is very hard and expensive to treat, and the treatments tend not to work very well, so prevention makes a great deal of sense. A second reason is that childhood is a time when people are learning habits about eating and physical activity, and so intervening during those early years could project ahead into many years of healthy lifestyle, which is quite important. And the last reason, and perhaps the most important, is that society is willing to take actions to defend children against bad things in their environment. And so getting rid of soft drinks and snack foods in schools, cracking down on advertising and the like, are things that would never be considered, and the adult equivalent of that would be very hard to consider, but the child equivalent is not.
What could be more important than the health of our children? They're the future for our country, for our world.
I've seen kids go to Mackie D's, KFC, Pizza Hut, you know, fish and chip shop, you know. That's their dinner every night of the week. And then at school, there's an even cheaper version of it at school. And if they get a lunchbox, well, forget about that. You know, you might as well give them a line of
Jamie's shocked to discover children as young as 5 are being referred to the paediatric dietitian at the local hospital.
So what is this diet that is causing the things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis?
I think the worst case I've had is when people have a fizzy drink for breakfast and a Kit Kat, and again they have chicken nuggets for lunch and chicken nuggets again for dinner and chips. This is
that
the
sounds
whole
pretty
diet.
normal to a lot of the kids.
Absolutely, it's not. But this is shocking because you've got all this saturated fat. You get this gradual build-up around the colon. And then it gets to the extent that it gets so clogged up that some children are actually causing vomiting, and they get, when they vomit, because the food's been sat in the small intestine for a while,
you're winding me up.
They're actually bringing up semi-formed feces out of themselves, because the food's just not going anywhere, so it has to get out somewhere.
When a paediatrician says to you, look, I'm frustrated, I love my job, I want to, but you know what, no one's listening to me. It's like listening to a policeman when he's put someone in jail and they're out again. You know, it's just like going, nah, nah, nah. He's saying, listen, I see this kid once a week now, used to see him once a month. I've told the parents, right? Now, you know, to me, this is child abuse. I've told them to stop doing that, and they're still doing it because it comes in a nice packet. And it's branded, and they trust it, and they're buying into a solution, you know? And I'll keep telling them, and they're still doing it. Is it child abuse? Not at the moment. Do I think it's child abuse? Yep. Yep. The damage on the inside, we might as well put cigarette butts out on the kids, you know? You can't see what's on the inside, that's the problem. Who knows what this is? Darling?
Onions?
It's onions? No, sit down.
Is it leek?
It's not a leek, no. I can't believe it. I think I'm going to pass out.
Kiwi?
A kiwi?
The only way to change the way kids think about food is to bring them into a new relationship to food, and to do that in the public school system, educating kids about how to eat. I've been working on a project in Berkeley for the last 10 years called the Edible Schoolyard. And we had in mind to tie a curriculum of a garden and of a kitchen classroom to all the other subjects at the school. And what we've discovered after 10 years is that kids really like this interactive pedagogy of a garden classroom and of a kitchen classroom. And when they get involved with the growing and the cooking, that they all want to eat it.
After 6 months of perseverance, Jamie and Nora have achieved what at times seemed impossible. The teenagers are actually enjoying freshly cooked meals.
Give me that. It's quite nice, you know.
Help yourself. Help yourself to salad.
I've had 5 scoops of salad.
Good boy. Do you like it?
What's being learned in the school can generalize outside the school hours because the community is providing the possibility of eating a healthier diet. But even if these possibilities exist and it's still too expensive, you've got problems, and that's where the government needs to step in. It just has to be the case that healthy foods cost less and unhealthy foods cost more, then the financial incentives are lined up in the proper direction.
And as far as our kids are concerned, they are the most unhealthy kids in Europe. I'm not proud of that. I'm sickened by it. I'm appalled by it. You know, I don't mind paying my taxes. I believe in paying taxes. I'm not going to pay my taxes so some numbnut who knows nothing about food, food preparation, food standards, probably doesn't even enjoy cooking or go out to restaurants and have any kind of, I don't know, positive input. He's running the, you know, that person's signing checks, billions of pounds to serve to our kids.
You've described fantastically powerfully, and money is there and money is important, but it's only part of the equation. It's the whole range of things that have to be done, and it's our job to find the money implication to do that, and I'm saying to you I will do that.
What have we been promised? A minimum spend of ingredients per kid on the plate to 65p, 60 pence. All junk and fizzy drinks all being banned from the vending machines for healthier options. I've been promised that every kitchen will be redone over 5 years. If you can't look after our kids, and this is what I'd say to President Bush, where I'm here in New York now, you know, if you can't look after your kids when you know that they're the most unhealthy kids in the world, or in England's case, Europe, you know, again, England and America are side by side, not in war, but in having the most unhealthy kids. If you can't look after our kids, do me a favour, off and go and run another country.
All the problems that we as a nation are paying for through the National Health Service, they come back to what we're feeding our children.
The odor